In this video, you will experience a big shift in your harmonic experience. Let's see what's going to happen. We have the explanations for the chord progressions on the surface level. And in this video, you will have a different approach to connect the structural points for harmonic progressions. I call that system kind of classification of chord structures, because if you don't have that classification, then you cannot see the structural and also like background, structural and middle ground relationship in your harmonic progression. And it is called non-diatonic chords from harmonic regions. Again, the same principle has a very important role in that connection, which is structural progression based on fourths and fifths. Let's construct this structure together. And what we have up to that point, the harmonic expansion on the base of fourths and fifths, right? This is our C major tonality. Okay, let's define our set as C major tonality here. And then, for example, the first diatonic chord is D minor 7, and we have the secondary dominant 5/7 of 2 and 2 minor 7, right? Then we have related 2 minor 7. This is E minor 7, and we check all the details about this. And when we apply tritone substitution, we have D minor again, and the substitute 5 for D minor 7, E flat dominant 7. This is sub 5/2 because this is secondary sub 5 dominant 7. And the related 2 minor of this, we have the 4 variations, but I will use the first one. I will use the structural fourths fifths relationship, which is the B flat minor 7. Okay, we don't use the Roman numeral analysis here because it's non-diatonic and there's no structural relationship. And this is our tension resolution in these two patterns. Okay, we are happy until that point about all these structures. We apply the same principle for each harmonic step, for expansion, harmonic expansion, and also we have the non-diatonic chords and diatonic chord relationship on the basis of the three necessary and sufficient conditions. The first one is major minor scales, and we already covered the major scales, and also we'll have the explanations for minor scales, but there is no structural difference in terms of chord progressions in minor, and we will see the examples. And also the functionality, we have the centric value, we have the first degree chord. According to first degree chord, we design other chord progressions on the basis of fifths and fourths chord progressions. And the last one, structural progressions based on fourths and fifths. And this, when we have this the necessary and sufficient conditions, we can have a very solid structure for tonal harmonic progressions. But we'll keep going about the expansion. We'll have more structural non-diatonic chords. And let's apply the same principle, structural progression based on fourths and fifths. Especially Hugo Riemann's explanation has a very, very valuable function for me to understand that relationship. Okay, what about the tonal relationship in terms of the fourths and fifths? What's the close tonality? What is the closest tonalities in terms of the fourths and fifths, which is G area, G dominant area, and because we have the fifth relationship, the next one is F subdominant area, right? And because, again, we are using the same principle. And on the basis of that relationship, we can use the diatonic chords of these regions for C major tonality because of that relationship. And that connection creates the very strong relationship. And on the basis of that connection, when we use these non-chord tones in C major tonality in terms of non-diatonic relationship, and then there is no problem about the centricity. Okay, let's see. The most common chord from dominant region is F sharp minor 7 flat 5. This is according to centric value of C. When we analyze F sharp minor 7, we'll write sharp 4 minor 7 flat 5. Okay, then the most common chord from the F subdominant region, subdominant major region, B flat major 7. Let's see the relationship in terms of this connection. Okay, B flat major 7, 4th degree in F major tonality, but our center enter here C major. Because of that structural relationship, I can use B flat major 7 in C major tonality. That's why I write flat 7 major 7. Of course, we have a lot of options. For example, we have B minor 7 from dominant region. We have G minor 7 from subdominant region. But I mean, in terms of traditional usage, traditional choices, I will present the most common choices in the jazz, and also you can use this knowledge for the classical music theory. Most of the jazz standards, tonal jazz standards, you can have the very clear picture about this structural non-diatonic chords on the basis of this harmonic region relationships. Okay, up to that point, everything is clear. Let me give an example from the jazz repertoire. It's a very, very famous song. This is Stella by Starlight. Let's look at the few bars about that relationship. And the Stella by Starlight starts from like, then, okay. And this is B flat major tonality. Okay, our key is B flat. But the song starts from sharp 4, minor 7, flat 5. What makes that relationship valid? Because we had structural relationship on the base of this fourths and fifths harmonic regions. And let's see, this is, okay, we have sharp 4, then secondary dominant of 3, but it doesn't resolve on that chord. This is 2 minor for B flat major tonality, then this is primary dominant for B flat, and this is resolution. And because of that relationship, distance has different quality. That sound, this sharp 4 minor sound, at the beginning, I mean, it looks very dissonant or it looks very unrelated. But when you look at this relationship, you can have some kind of the relationship, and that makes and also that creates the layering perception of the chord structures. Because when you use the diatonic chords, when you use the secondary dominants, when you use the related to, you can get you don't need to push your perception to understand the centric value. But when you use this more distant, more dissonant chords, you look like, okay, I cannot get the real relationship here. But if you look at these chords from that perspective, then you can have real perception. And also, when you get the different examples from literature and when you get the pattern recognition in harmonic progression, you start to see this kind of classification. Then that helped me a lot to understand the unity of pieces in terms of harmonic progression. Okay, let's keep going on our expansion for harmonic structures. Okay, and let's go back to Bach's repertoire again. The most common type of minor chord progressions, Johann Sebastian Bach, he always used like that kind of ending. C minor, F minor, G dominant. Okay, then we go back to C major. What makes him to realize that progression? And this is the dominant relationship. Because when you have two tonalities, major and minor tonalities, there's one common point about that connection, which is the dominant relationship. Let me write here C minor. And by means of that connection, we can use the non-diatonic chords in our C major tonality. We call that region tonic minor. The C major tonality, C major section, we have the tonic, we have tonic section, we have dominant section on G, we have subdominant section, region or section, whatever works for you, it's okay. And then we have C minor region. And also, when you apply that relationship to F, relationship between F and C, we have F minor. Okay, you can use these three regions to produce non-diatonic chord relationship. Let's see what the common chords are here. And from F minor region, we have F minor, 7. And this is, according to C center, we have 4 minor 7. And we have B flat dominant 7 and flat 7 dominant 7. And we have A flat major 7. This is flat 6 major 7. Then the last one, D flat major 7. This is flat 2 major 7. I can hear that, especially for the flat 2 major 7. There's very special chord for you. In classical music theory, it's called Neapolitan 6 chord. Let's hear the most famous example of that chord. This is. What is that chord? This is Neapolitan 6 chord. But there is no theoretic explanation about this. But on the basis of that relationship, you can say that, okay, this is the subdominant minor region chord. Then you can have very consistent explanation about that relationship. This is flat 2 major 7. Okay, but I mean, for the minor tonality, we'll have, and also I'll explain in our later videos, especially when we talk about the minor tonality, we have 3 minor scales. Natural minor, harmonic minor, and harmonic minor very common for the especially classical music theory, and the melodic minor. Melodic minor is the common device for the jazz minor tonality. Okay, but I mean, for some of the chords, I mean, for example, F minor 7, it's coming from F natural minor. B flat dominant 7, it's coming from the F melodic minor. When we have the A flat major 7 and D flat major 7, they are coming from F natural minor. But as I said before, I will explain later. And what about the tonic minor region? There's only one chord, it's very common. This is E flat major 7. This is flat 3 major 7. Okay, then we have full view of this harmonic structure in terms of middle ground, background, and also foreground analysis. What about the chord scales for this non-diatonic?